The regular season came to an end last night in Brownsville at Sam's Stadium as Los Fresnos took to the turf and took well. Yeah, that was Pierce Ruiz right there for a big touchdown. Los Fresnos getting it done on the ground. Some big hits there. Los Fresnos taking out Brownsville. Hannah only had a spoiler role to play, but they did not spoil anything for Los Fresnos as they end up also getting a share of that 32 4A district title. A four-way tie for that title in District 32 6A as Los Fresnos, San Benito, Harlingen, and Los Fresnos, San Benito, Harlingen, and of course Brownsville Rivera take it all. Meanwhile, Tinaco Bowl 3 came down to the wire and it ended up with an interception in the end zone as Weslaco comes away with a 28-21 win. After the game, the Weslaco Panthers had a pretty good idea they would be playing the Harlingen Cardinals and talked about it.
So, we know those guys, and we know what they got. I think we're a lot better football team the first time we played them, and so they better get ready.
Keep playing the same ball game. We're on a little roll, so we just keep playing the way we've been playing, and we'll come out with the victory.
Meanwhile, of course, a lot of people talking about what happened at the end of the game with the Weslaco East in a huddle on the sidelines and the Weslaco team waiting for handshakes that never came. It was a mistake. It was a mistake by Weslaco East. I'm sure they're sorry for it. Wouldn't surprise me if Mike Burgett had already called up and apologized for it. It's over. It's done with. This one's going to get a little heated no matter which way you look at it, Joe.
Yeah, and don't take away from a good football game. It was, big crowd, and my hat's off to the crowd that showed up for that one. Big crowd, good game, good competition down to the last play. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, and it came down for the 31-6A title, which, it's always great when a rivalry game comes down for a district championship on the line as well.
Yeah, Wesco just that's such a roll they're on. I think that's 5 in a row. They started,
yeah, just like Rivera.
Just like Rivera, and now they're clicking at the right time, and that's what makes it tough for Harlingen. They're getting both teams are improved since their initial meeting, but Wesco right now is on some serious momentum.
Yeah, Wesco definitely has some serious momentum. Let's talk about their next opponent. That would be the Harlingen Cardinals. They had Bird Bowl 22 coming up this last Friday at Bogus Stadium, and the Cardinals looked a little healthy. No, they're not going to get Bowie back at quarterback, but Leo Tienda is pretty darn good at running back, and Jesse Castro, who filled in so well before he was injured, he scores a touchdown right here. Harlingen looking pretty good in the Bird Bowl. Now they're going to take on this red-hot Weslaco team, and let's talk about it because it is a rematch. You mentioned that already, Dennis. The last time it was Harlingen coming away with a win, a 1-point win, as a matter of fact. You heard Coach Tony Villarreal. Last time they were a little injured. What are your thoughts on Weslaco, Harlingen, this one at Bogus Stadium for the second straight game this year? Who do you got winning?
I like Weslaco high. I like the run game. I love that defense, and I think right now they're just riding a surge right now. I don't know when it's going to stop.
Yeah, they definitely look good, and that defense looking good too, Joe.
Yeah, but Harlingen's defense is stepping up as well. After they lost those couple of games there a couple of weeks ago, they found another niche, and Harlingen isn't young anymore. That's going to be my theme all morning long, is these teams aren't young anymore. Get ready, Edinburgh North. But I got Harlingen winning this game. I think at Bogus Stadium, playoff atmosphere, Harlingen seems to do well right there, folks.
All right, but I'm going with Weslaco too. Play the hot hand. That's the way I've always heard it. And the Panthers are just as hot as any team in the Valley right now. Harlingen looking good, but still can't score a ton of points yet. Only 21 points against Harlingen South. I think Weslaco will come away with the win. Meanwhile, we mentioned Los Fresnos, and Joe, you mentioned it. They're going to have to take on Edinburgh North again. These two teams played back in the first week of the season, and Edinburgh North's Diego Sanchez came away with a field goal at the end of the game at the buzzer to win it, and now they're going to fight for it again. This time, though, it will be at Cat Stadium. It will be Friday night. Your thoughts, Dennis, on the game and who you think will win?
I like North. I like the fact they've been in, even for a young team, they've been in playoff-like situations. Diego Sanchez, that's a nice weapon to have if it's a close game in the fourth quarter. Los Fresnos has grown up a lot. They look a lot different than when I saw them against Ecal Chelsea, but I really like Edinburgh North and what they're able to do in late in games.
Yeah, Matt Whiteside's healthy again there as well for Edinburgh North. They will be playing at home, Joe.
Yeah, and they play better at home, and Whiteside's is a factor that may make the difference. I still think Los Fresnos is going to win because they have gotten better as the season goes on, and boy, they look good last night.
All right, I've got Los Fresnos as well. They did look great last night. They've got so many weapons on offense. And how about on defense, where the last two games, Los Fresnos has thrown shutouts Yeah, that's right. Their defense has allowed a total of 0 points in the last 2 games. They threw 3 shutouts in their entirety of district play. So I've got Los Fresnos winning that one. But let's take a look at what's going to be happening on the other side of the bracket as McAllen Memorial will take on Del Rio. That game will be at Shirley Field in Laredo on a Friday night. Meanwhile, on the other side, it will be La Jolla taking on the Longhorns of Laredo United. That game is going to be at the Sack Center on Friday night. So we've got 2 Valley teams in Laredo, McAllen Memorial taking on the Rams, La Jolla taking on the Longhorns. Your thoughts on those 2 teams and how they stack up with the teams from District 29 6A?
Laredo United, I actually don't think that's going to be that hard for them. That's a really tough Longhorns team. They played well all season. That's going to be a tough task for La Jolla. As far as Memorial and Del Rio, all you need to know about that game is Shirley Field is a really, really nice field. I think McAllen Memorial is going to have no problem. Yeah,
that's going to be some fast turf for them. Joe, Converse Judson and O'Connor on one side of the bracket, Reagan on Smithson Valley on the other side of the bracket. McAllen Memorial, it sets up for them. You expect them to win against Del Rio. You expect them to beat whoever comes out of Los Fresnos and Edinburgh North. And then, do they have a chance to go past that 3rd round against what's most likely going to be a Reagan Rattlers team that's going to be undefeated?
If they can play some defense, and that's where the key is, because don't look at the records of Converse, Judson, and Churchill and all of the San Antonio teams. They beat each other, folks. So don't look at them saying, well, they lost some games. No, don't do that. Can you play defense? If they can play defense, they've got playmakers to make the plays on offense. Play some defense, win some offense, and then you'll win some playoff games.
All right, we are coming right back on Sunday Sports Extra. Going to talk a little 5A football. Going to talk about 5A Division II and the playoffs when we come back.